This was a great year for the supporting performers, as it always is, because the supporting performers always get to have a little more fun than the leads. There's a clip where Dev Patel is talking where he talks about the stillness that a leading actor has to have compared to the supporting performers. He talks about it like the lead is an upgrade, but I think about it more as a distinction between these two jobs.
I didn't really understand the art of subtlety before I met Danny, and he gave me this advice of you have to be still. And I came in and did this big audition because I knew I could make people laugh. That was my go-to thing. And he said, you're really good, you're funny, but if you want to lead this, we're going to need the audience to enter you through your eyes. So I need you to be still. And then we can go on a journey with you.
Many of these supporting performances contain the stillness of a leading person, and many of them contain the extracurriculars of the supporting. What's important is that they're all phenomenal in their own right. With that being said, here are the nominees. Anjanou Ellis, Exhibiting Forgiveness. This is a film ripe with performance opportunity, and Anjanou Ellis takes every bit of it into her possession. She's emotionally powerful, warm, inviting, and conflicted. Her entire dilemma is put to screen in a way where you can see all the heartache she goes through. Her range of emotion is what gets me here. To be able to display everything she displays is a testament to her ability as an actress, and there's a reason she's considered one of the greats working today. Aubrey Plaza, My Old Ass. Aubrey Plaza is one of those actresses that if I met her in real life, I would be completely unable to distinguish whether she's talking in a bit or if she's being completely serious with me. Her performance here, though, transcended every preconceived notion I had about her ability, her authenticity, and her emotional connection. She blew my socks off here in one of the most underrated movies of the year. She was lovingly playful and yet thoughtfully mature. She was able to do a lot with just her voice as well. A truly career-defining role, and one that'll stick with me. Special shout out to Megalopolis. I don't have her on this list for that, but what the hell? I mean, I just want to mention that performance, because what the hell? Carol Duarte, La Quimera. This is a performance that could slip under your radar if you're not careful. It wasn't overly dramatic or powerful. It was quiet, but its beauty was in its genuine description. She was able to show a lot with what little screen time she had, and as the story progressed, it became more powerful upon retrospection. Chaya Kadam, All We Imagine Is Light. Chaya Kadam gave what I imagine as a wise performance. It had such a satisfaction and a humble love of life. She elevated the role she was given and turned it into something more than its parts. Her chemistry with the other two actresses also recontextualized the film, and her ability to respond with what they were giving out gave the whole film more cohesion. Danielle Deadwyler, The Piano Lesson. In a movie that was hit or miss for me a little performance-wise, Deadwyler stole the show and nailed the role that she was given. She had the difficult task of being at a 10 emotionally speaking for a large part of the movie, so finding ways to make that energy diverse and interesting was a pleasure to watch on screen. It also made it so that her more quiet moments popped out and lit up the room. I hadn't heard from her much before this film, but I'll be hearing a lot more from her now. Divya Prabha, All We Imagine as Light. What a transcendent performance, one that makes you look at the place you're in life and wonder how it all fits together in your puzzle. She was filled with youthful exuberance and captured an innocence that makes you want to cry. Her scenes with Shohana Goswami were like watching fireworks go off. It's a performance that with time I've grown to appreciate more and more. I really hope to see more of her in the future. Felicity Jones, The Brutalist. Imagine dropping in the second half of a movie like a bomb and completely changing the dynamic of everything. Felicity Jones has that kind of power and a talent to go toe-to-toe with some of the best performances I've seen in my life. She was unyielding and gritty, definitely a bright spot this year. Joan Chen, Dee Dee. I think that Joan Chen gave a very enlightening performance, one that, as someone growing older, gets me to think more about the trials of parenthood. She got more and more appealing as the film went on, each scene meticulously adding a layer to her character that made her more interesting. Her love spliced with exhaustion was a great emotional center, and one that Chen realized with such maturity. Katie O'Brien, Love Lies Bleeding. As one of the more overlooked performances this year, I wanted to give a shout out to Katie O'Brien for such an exciting and pulpy performance. It was an engaging twist of paranoia and anger that perfectly matched what the film was going for. While I had some issues with how the story unfolded, her and Kristen Stewart made this film as good as it is, and O'Brien's slow fall from grace was incredibly exciting to watch. Margaret Qualley, The Substance. Speaking of pulpy, I think Margaret Qualley takes the cake for such a fun and spontaneous performance. Her overwhelming confidence, comedic timing, and charm make her absolutely magnetic to watch. She was so in her bag during the duration of this film. She knew exactly the tone the film was going for, and it allowed her to be far more emotive. Super spunky. Spunk, McSpunkle spunk. Monica Barbaro, a complete unknown. It really matters if you're able to play the guitar and sing in real life while you're doing your performance because it captures some sort of authenticity in what you're doing. When someone dubs for you, you have a realistic shot at making it look perfect. Real ones know, though, that greatest moments in music come from slight imperfection and a light that radiates through it. Monica Barbaro was wonderful to watch on screen because she seemed attuned to the power of performance and how the stage operates. Ayaka Shibutani, Evil Does Not Exist. This is a glorious and subtle performance, one that has to traverse scenes with either lots and lots of dialogue or almost none at all. In most cases, Shibutani did her acting as reacting, using her eyes to distinguish differences in the conversation. The Japanese are very good at reserved acting because they're very culturally reserved, but when you see the aptitude put into film, it works really, really well. Plays are made for extroverts, but the camera loves subtlety. Not to mention Shibutani nails the role in her own right. Her calm and collected nature enhanced the film incredibly. Sunita Rajwar, Santosh. The girl boss who flew too close to the sun. Rajwar did a great job of displaying power, of sticking to her guns, being charismatic, and at times, nightmarishly gruesome. The best part of her performance was how casual she played it, how matter-of-fact her moves were. She mimicked the way humans can fall if we allow ourselves to, if we justify our actions to the point of execution. Just a really haunting job, and probably the best part of the entire film. Zendaya, Dune Part 2. Now, Dune will copyright you if you put anything from the movie, so I'm not doing any clips. I've had enough of it. There are a few major reasons why I think Denis Villeneuve's Dune is even better than the original, the biggest one being Zendaya's incredible performance as Chani during the film. For those of you who haven't read the book, Chani is more of a helpless character, a misogynist interpretation, I would go so far to say, and when you put Zendaya in the movie, you can be sure that she's going to do the opposite of that. She had such an intensity for the role, such a determination, such a different voice from the original. She elevated the character in just about every way you can, and she was instrumental to the film's success and its level up from its predecessor. This was a really difficult award to give out because, while there were so many great performances this year, it's not like one of them stood above the rest. There's about 5 performances that deserve this award, but I think the movie Highlander said it best when they said, "There can only be one." So, the winner is... Sunita Rajwar, Santosh. I know this film hasn't been seen by a lot of people, and I probably wouldn't have seen it myself if I hadn't been to a festival, but its performances are so good. Sunita Rajwar intimidated me into giving her this. She was just too scary. I had to do it. Special shout out to Danielle Deadweiler, Aubrey Plaza, and Joan Chen for their work in their respective roles. I can't decide between them, so they're all getting silver turtles. Good for them. They deserve all the love. But that's going to do it for me today. Let me know if there's any performances I missed. I nominated so many people, but maybe there's one. I mean, I didn't nominate Isabel Rossellini because she's barely in the movie. I don't even think she was that good. That it didn't make sense to me. And also, there's been just some comments by Nepo babies trying to not be Nepo babies that just pisses me off. It doesn't even matter if you're a Nepo baby. Just say that you got a little further because of it. But that's just me. That's just me. So I didn't nominate her. But it's just me and my turtles here, and we're gonna have a good time together. Me, my turtles, and my cat. Very, very popular trio. Um, Yeah, very popular trio. So that's gonna do it for me. I'm gonna go back to that. And I hope that you have a good time today. What's the thing that I want to wish for today? I hope you read a good book. I hope you start a book and you're like, I'll just read a little bit of it, and then you're like, oh my god, I gotta finish this, and then you stay up till 4 a.m. That's quite a meditative, exciting experience that can only happen if you're alive. So that's a good thing about life. And so I'll leave you on that note, and I'm gonna go read a book now. Actually, no, I gotta shoot a whole bunch of these, but whatever, you get the point. I'll see you.